Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Friday, October 3rd, 2025. I, of course, am here with your daily mortgage rate update. Welcome to Hammer Live. I am Hammer, the founder of Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday mornings. We'll talk about the mortgage industry, especially rates and pricing, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're here this morning, say good morning. If you're watching on the replay, just do me a favor and put hashtag replay in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. It is much appreciated. If you would like a quick reminder that I'm going live, you can go ahead and get that directly to your phone. Give us your cell number. I promise not to drunk dial you over the weekend. And we will send you a text message when I'm going live with quick links so you don't miss anything of the show. hmmr.io/reminder. If you want to type it in or use the cool QR code. If you're on your phone now, take a screenshot. You can go to your photos and that QR code will still work. I think that is wicked, awesome, cool. So let's say hi to the live folks and then we'll jump in and get started. And we got up this morning. Mallory Fotiatis is the first one to say hello. Good morning, Mallory. Megan Bissell, Michael Love, great to see you. Randy Tico, giddy up, sir. Nicole Semerad, Brandy Brickler, Deb Dickinson, James Mahan, good morning. Rise and shine. Welcome there, sunshine. Tim Klyla, great to have you back from vacation. Mike Tebow, good to see you up there in Michigan. Mike Brown, Rob Smith, Kenny Rivard, Vicky McSweeney, hello. Kyle Mazikis, Julie Lawrence, Mike Morano, giving you love from 2 platforms. Well, all right, dude, I appreciate that. That's over and above, but I appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you very much, my friend. Great to have all of you here as well. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's get started. We're going to jump into talk about what we got going on this morning. Let me share the screen and booyah. All right, so quick recap. Yesterday, if we do the 2-day chart here, and let's bring up Presentify. Oops, no, that's new. Presentify. There we go. Okay, so if we take a look at Presentify, yesterday mortgage pricing came out right about here, and you could see that we improved nicely on the day, all the way up to here. That is a nice improvement. Remember, when mortgage bonds move up, that makes us smile. That is a happy face. That is what is happening when you see better pricing. Now, very few lenders repriced better on the day. There wasn't much that we saw there. If we take a look and let's go to the text alert and see where we were at. So we started the day, though, minus 6 basis points, and the 10-year was around 4.11. And if we take a look and see where we were at as we ended the day, we were at 101.09. So we went from minus 6 to plus 6. Obviously, that is plus 12 basis points. And plus 12 basis points is enough to see better pricing this morning, which is good. So we will see better pricing this morning. Mortgage-backed securities currently flat on the day. If we take a look here, they were flat a minute ago. Now they're showing at a whopping -3, but that's still enough that we'll see improved rate sheets this morning. Yesterday's end-of-day text bonds improved a bit on the day, although only enough for a handful of lenders to reprice better. Still could see better AM pricing. And still no urgency to lock anything. Let's see what tomorrow brings, and we won't know what we know what it won't bring, and it won't bring BLS jobs data. So there is no jobs data this morning. We knew that because of the shutdown. Bureau of Labor Statistics, one of the non-essential departments, and there is no BLS data today. So remember, the longer shutdown goes on, the more of an effect we're likely to see on rates moving lower. Have we seen an effect? Well, let's do a 5-day chart real quick. And absolutely, you can take a look and see right before the shutdown here, we were kind of moving down. But overall, look at the general consensus on the week, up about 20 basis points on the week altogether. And that's enough to improve pricing a little bit more than what Mortgage News Daily says we're seeing on rate sheets. So according to Mortgage News Daily, we went from, let's see, we'd be right here, 6.38. We're at like 6.36. So this morning should be a little bit better than that, 6.35, maybe 6.34. That brings us back where we were here in kind of the middle end of September there, a little bit better than what we've seen, but not tremendously better. We're still not seeing this one day of the best rates and then kind of a little bit of bookending of better rates right before and after that. Remember, this was after the Fed meeting right here. This was Fed, and that was when rates started to move up higher after the Fed meeting. So we're still seeing improvement. When we take a look at what markets are expecting to see on the day, I'll show you that in a minute. Reprice risk today, though, is low. Remember, if you would like to get awesome alerts like this, we send you out a morning alert, giving you an update on what's going on around 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And then we send out an afternoon alert, $7 a month. That's it. No bells and whistles, can't beat it. Even if you have one of the other services, this one's cheap enough to have and keep you posted, and it's ratetextalerts.com. When we do have days where reprice risk increases, and again, that's not today, but if we did have to send out an alert, it looks kind of like this right here. So you do get an alert when we are worried that we're going to see some worse pricing. We also send out updates if we think pricing is going to improve if we were in a locking stance, like we tell you to hold off and don't lock. So, but taking a look here, I mean, right now it's still the same thing. Markets absolutely expect to see a cut from the Fed at the next meeting at the end of October this month, and the next one in December. It's almost a given. So they've really priced those two in, and really what we want to look at is the January one. Because if you take a look, this was a month ago, this was a week ago. Markets were pricing in the idea that we would be at maybe 3 3/4 for the Fed funds rate. Now pricing on a much stronger expectation that we will be at 3.5 or even all the way down to 3 1/4. Right now, if you don't remember, we are at 4. So that would be, this is one cut we would see in October. So we'll put a 1 there. This would be 2 cuts that we would see in December, and then this would be a January cut. So markets are pricing in the idea of, it's kind of funny that there's, a stronger expectation that we'll cut in December, but that doesn't carry into January. But that's only because they think that we'll have 2 and stop versus we would have a third. Very, very few think we're only going to have 1 cut for this year. So keep that in mind. That's what markets are pricing in. The reason we're watching that so closely is that if markets start to give up on the Fed rate cuts, then we will see rates move. Now, yeah, that doesn't, I know, Mike, you're talking about, Mike. So let's talk about some of the headlines. Mike said would have loved the $300 jump yesterday with FICO news. Fair Isaac to allow lenders to bypass credit bureaus for FICO scores. We'll see. We'll see if it gets there. We'll see if lenders even remotely adopt it. Fannie, Freddie. I mean, there's so much that would have to happen. It's like the other thing. Everything moves slowly. So big news, not a big deal. Right? Big news, not a big deal. Rob Stewart, Matt Rasner, good morning, y'all. But as we take a look this morning, kind of where things are at, lock advice remains the same that it has been. There's really not much of a reason to lock anything. I don't have anything. Let me put this updated down here. So hold on a minute. Lock advice. Cautiously float, not likely to see rates move worse unless a budget deal gets done. Okay, so I'm putting this up on the bottom of the screen so that it'll show up, and that's kind of the thing here, right? So I had said, hey, we want to be careful because we might see a deal over the weekend, but looking, sorry, this is not cooperating. There we go. So let me put that there. Put that there. All right. So here's what I'm seeing on this. Remember, for a deal to get done, it's got to be the House and the Senate. It can't just be one or the other, right? So on the other day, get rid of this. There we go. The other day, this was on 10/1. So this is Wednesday, right? On Wednesday, we get an article. Thune says Senate will work over the weekend if Democrats don't reopen the government. That was on Wednesday. That was kind of where I was going and what I had in our lock advice. We're probably going to be here to keep voting. If we're going to keep voting to shut down, it's referring to their blockade of the House passed funding bill. However, when we look over here, the weekend votes unlikely, Thune says. This was yesterday on 10/2. late in the day around 2 o'clock Eastern. Senate Majority Leader John Thune said on Thursday that it's unlikely senators will be in the Capitol voting this weekend, all but guaranteeing the government shutdown goes into next week. They'll have a fourth chance tomorrow, that's today, to open up the government. And if that fails, we'll give them the weekend to think about it, and then we'll come back and vote on Monday. So remember, they could always do an emergency session, call everybody back to the Senate. All the senators are probably still in Washington. They're not going to go home for the weekend, not with all this going on. As far as the House, I will admit I'm not a government civics expert, so I don't know if they have to vote on the House's current version because the Senate didn't pass it, or if they make changes and then the House would have to get together and then do it again. So the Senate was discussing staying in the session through the weekend to resolve funding the issues after failing to advance a House-passed bill. So this one was passed in the House. While this specifically refers to the Senate, continued activity in the Senate could also trigger weekend action in the House, because if the Senate makes changes to the House bill and they pass something, then the House would have to then pass it. Congressional schedules can change rapidly in response to budget negotiations and looming deadlines. So there is some risk technically into floating through the weekend for loans closing near term. If we see a deal get done, it is likely that we're going to see mortgage bonds lose ground. Will they lose significant ground? No, but we'll see the 10-year jump. I mean, right now your 10-year is at 4.10, 4.09, 4.10. We'll see it move up to 4.15 again if a deal gets done. It's not going to be a huge thing, but it probably would bring us back down to here, and we would test that floor again. So we'll have to see where that goes. But overall, not a huge concern. Just kind of taking it all in. Top of the morning to you, Nima. Mike Morano, existing CR can still be, the existing House resolution could be voted on. All right. So that said, what are you doing this weekend? Let me know in the comments. What are you doing this weekend? And my long promised barn tour. Let me give you guys a quick barn tour. Here is my desk. I wonder if I could get it to stop zooming. So I have to finish the ceiling. So right now, this is what it'll look like when I've got lights on the other side as well. It's funny, this is all mirrored to me. I wonder if you guys are seeing it backwards. Is my screen backwards? Let me know in the comments if my screen is backwards. I don't know how to mirror my camera. Curious if I can mirror my camera, because that's annoying me. Hold on, let me see. Video, mirror camera. All right. There you go. Jack Straw heading to Dollywood. Dude, I am going to Gatlinburg tonight to have dinner with some friends. Dollywood's in Pigeon Forge. My son-in-law warned me, huge car show. So going to be epic traffic out that way. But have fun at Dollywood. It is cool. Very good. Nima, you missed the Blue Ridge Mountain View. Don't worry. I'll be getting it back. Here you go. In fact, here you are. See, so I still have it out this window here. I can definitely share that with you. And in fact, I'm a little bit higher up. I'm going to trim some of the trees back a little bit, I think. But I'm not too worried about it. And I will have a view. Oh, you're going to get a view of the screen that way. I will have a view in the other direction. Next year, I'll build a deck out here. I'll take these windows out. And I don't know if you guys are seeing. I wonder if you see it on the screen like I do. I'll have to look at the recording and see. But anyway, I'm going to take these windows out, and I'll put doors, and I'll build a deck out there. But this weekend, I will wrap up the walls, and then I can get permanent electric here and heating and cooling, and then I can actually paint and make it pretty. So we're going to do the walls a dark blue. It's called Inkwell. This whole side here, I'm going to put whiteboards, so that I love whiteboards. So I'm going to have whiteboards on the entire wall. This is the tongue and groove is going to be a dark, like a walnut or an American colonial color, like a dark brown. I want to give it you can see I've got my, forgive it. It looks like I'm a teenager, but these are things because of the cats. I got my leather couch. I got my big old TV over here. My LG, you guys should be seeing that, and I'm going to be putting it up on that wall over there. So it'll be pretty epic. And then downstairs, I got the workshop. I'll show you that another time. So, but that is it, my friends. Puppies being picked up, Randy. Ones that you've trained. Mike Morano headed Kingsport, Tennessee until Monday, then to Florida. Travel safe. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. We'll see what Monday brings. Bye-bye. Robert Bashir, no pool table. Nah, no pool table. It would be fun. It would be a bear to get up here, but it's possible. It would be heavy, but it's possible. But I got a 70-inch TV, but no, I want a pool table. So, what you doing, Mr. George? So, when is my open house? Yeah, that's a good question. We'll do something. Don't knock over my coffee. So, all right, I'll catch y'all later. Have a great one. Bye-bye.